Hi everyone, it's Sara here from Vin van Caerdydd. I hope you're all well. Happy weekend. So thank you very much for everyone's really lovely comments about last week's video for Malbec Day. Now this week, because it's so lovely and sunny outside, I thought I should talk about a white grape variety, and what better grape variety to talk about than Sauvignon Blanc. So I do have two supermarket wines that I've chosen specifically to compare. But before I talk about these wines, I just want to talk a little bit about Sauvignon Blanc in general. So Sauvignon Blanc is a highly aromatic grape variety with really high acidity. So it's well suited to cool climates as this retains its acidity. Now, Sauvignon, as we know, is grown all over the world, and you can get some really great examples from South Africa, from Chile, from Australia. But I want to talk specifically about two of the most popular regions, which are, of course, the Loire Valley in France and Marlborough in New Zealand. So the two wines I've chosen should reflect those wines from that area. So the first one here is a Val de Loire Sauvignon Blanc, and I got this one for £5.99 in Lidl. And then the second one here is a Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc Villa Maria, which I got for £7.99 from Asda. So I'm just going to put these to one side for now, because before I do the tasting, I want to talk to you in a little bit more detail about the region. So I'm going to put these here. So the Loire Valley, I'm going to show you on my map. So as you can see here, the Loire Valley is in the northwest of France, and the climate here is overall cool. And similar to Wales, there can be huge variations in weather since, as you can see, it's at the northern limit for the production of grape varieties grown. Although global warming does have an effect on this limit. So if we look at the Loire in a little bit more detail, most Sauvignons from the Loire are from two main regions, which are the central valleys here and Touraine, which is here. Within the central valleys here, you have, of course, two of the most prestigious appellations, which are Sancerre and Puy-Fumé. The wines from these appellations are really elegant in style, with flavours of green apple, asparagus, and even wet pebble. Yeah, that's the thing. Now, Puy-Fumé, so fumé meaning smoked in French, these wines can sometimes have almost like a subtle smoky taste to it, hence the name. I actually get Puy-Fumé confused a lot with Puy-Fuissé in Burgundy. So I have to think fumé, which is smoked, and then I think smoked salmon. Smoked salmon comes from the sea, and the Loire region is next to the Atlantic Ocean. I know it's a bit of a roundabout way of remembering, but hey, people's brains work in mysterious ways, eh? So, apart from the central valleys, the majority of Sauvignons come from the region of Touraine, and these produce really kind of simple fruity styles of Sauvignon. So, anything that doesn't say Puy-Fumé or Touraine or a specific appellation on the label will tend to say Val de Loire, and this just means that the grapes come from a wider region from the area itself. So, expect something really simple and quite young in style. Now, New Zealand Sauvignons are completely different in style. These will have quite powerful aromas of gooseberry, grapefruit, passion fruit, and a lot of herbaceous notes as well. So maybe grassy flavours, and even, believe it or not, aromas of cat's piss. Now, as you can see, Marlborough is at the top of the South Island, where the climate is really cool. So these produce wines with high acidity and aromas of green pepper, gooseberry, whereas the North Island here has a warmer climate. And so the Sauvignons here have more tropical flavours and a lot less acidity. This is why the North Island tends to produce more red wines with blends from Merlot and Shiraz. Now, most Sauvignons are produced in stainless steel tanks to retain that fruity, clean flavour, but there are exceptions. So if you think of a Fumé Blanc from California, for example, or a Pessac Léognan White from Bordeaux, and even wild ferment Sauvignons from certain regions in New Zealand, they will use maybe wild yeast and barrel ferment, and then maybe have some oak aging to give a more kind of spicy, creamier style of Sauvignon. So these are the kind of wines that you would associate maybe with a Chardonnay. to the wine. So this, as I said, is a Val de Loire. So I expect kind of limey citrus flavours with maybe a touch of minerality. And then this Marlborough from the cooler climate of the South Island, I would expect maybe gooseberry with some herby notes and maybe a touch of passion fruit. So if you want to do the full tasting notes with me, then click on the next video and feel free to go on the Facebook page where there is a tasting placemat to help as well. See you soon!